Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is in your local time frame of the world. Welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV from the beginning, where I play through Final Fantasy XIV, starting over at the beginning with a brand new character, because I have gone through it all once already with a different character, so we're coming through to remind me what I might have missed. So last episode we did the Labyrinth. We unlocked that and ran it. And then we did some more MSQ. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing again. We're going to do some Crystal Tower progress, which is key to later elements in the story and later expansions. And then we'll go do some MSQ. Be sure to give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, and ring ding rang clang that bell so you get notifications when these videos go up and other things appear on the channel. And if you watched last episode, you'll notice Caden's outfit's changed a little bit. I did just a little fashion redesign with the glamour plate. Nothing too drastic. Just this felt like a cute little outfit. Appropriate for adventuring or just going out and hanging out around town. Yeah, those words are easy for me to say. If you want to give me more fashion advice, coming out, I do record these episodes live at twitch.tv/Elecnor, so you can help me pick out new outfits. Or watch along as I do some of the more extreme trials, like the Ultima's Bane that we just finished before I started this recording. So Rambro's here, has more Crystal Tower information for us. Yep, this is that just after us completing the Labyrinth of Ancients. Welcome back, Aiden. I've just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. Pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I've added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. And if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. So I want to go Monday. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Caden's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allegan technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. But I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such times as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us. So like you said, Chief, we founded the Ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons, and that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with my own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. I like his arm plates? I don't really want to call them bracers because they seem too big. But yeah, I mean, just elaborate arm pieces there. Would be handy, cover for an archer, but still leave their hands free for using their bow. As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Caden. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. Pause coming from a cat person. We will need you fighting fit for our subsequent forays. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allegan Empire. See, since they're on the backs of the arms, I don't necessarily think since they're back here, you wouldn't necessarily catch strings that would, because your strings are going to be along the inside of your arm. So, but to support them, you'd have enough stuff on your arm so that, strings wouldn't constantly be running. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it's time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the tasks at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. I mean, they would be good for light blade work, too. I think they would still work for archers. Deflect an incoming arrow or blade. Somebody's trying to take out an archer or two. And here's a nice ominous figure walking up. Such a terrible mess. Yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Allegan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. I believe the fates had conspired to deny me my just rewards once again. It would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. Yet Nero tol Scavia. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me. Guy who's been jealous of Cid his whole career. Because even after Cid abandoned the Empire, people still didn't recognize Nero there for his superiority? Superior in ego, anyway. Okay, Syrcus Tower. I don't know, my nose is itchy today. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Whatever progress you've made in the last minute. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say there is nothing worthwhile to report. The Sons continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Syrcus Tower, the Allegans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Cid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the selfsame goal. I am Unel, and my companion is called Doga. Or Unai. Doga and Unai. Yep. We are scholars of the Allegan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor. Unai and Doga. Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the student's behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. I'm sure you'll not take it amiss if we seem somewhat doubtful. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you we are here to help. What is it, Graha? So, the Crystal Tower itself pulls from Final Fantasy III, and Unai and Doga are a couple of characters from that game that help you get access to the tower and maneuver inside it. Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Allegan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allegans, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Allag. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Unai and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Syrcus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Caden, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Caden. With Unai and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Yeah, it's kind of hard to have major events take place and get moving without, the main character there. I think that's, yeah. I can run through here, but I can't fly. Biggs, Wedge! Well, fit in, Caden. Eager to enter Syrcus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. So here we go. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Unai and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alag, sent here by our friends of Baldassian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope we can be of some small assistance. If your attire is aught to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. That's a big door. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Syrcus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respected. Elegant royalty, by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. So now they're just going to open the door for us. If you're thinking to try to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Just needed the aether of a male and female from the Allegan royal bloodline. That's all. Real simple to get. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells, what is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only those of royal blood answerable, exactly as passed down through legend I am delighted to see. Nero. Can I shoot him? I mean, I don't have any firearms, but still, can I shoot him? I beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct. My association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. So I've been roaming this land, Eorzea, a regular itinerant. Ah, sorry, just my nose won't stop itching. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. Sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was the symbol of ancient Alag's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Alagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Alagan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? 'Twould seem the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. We're just going to leave Nero here with his door wide open? I don't think so. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland. You know me better than that. Better than to think I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Alagan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you enjoy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Which will happen more in another future expansion. But not like the former rival who tried to empower the big bad guy after a loss to come and help us? Yep, that right there's there's the 8 Sentinels. That's the entrance into the labyrinth right there. So here we have Doga and Unai. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rambrose, may wish to be present. Yeah, see, Nero is definitely an interesting guy. No real loyalties. He doesn't have any real loyalty to any one thing or entity, except to himself, his ego, and his desire to be the tops. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Alagan technology. This is a rather lot to take in. Would not be considered unseemly, might I ask, why you and yours were created? More specifically, what is it you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Allag to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than his founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. So it's kind of like if, the U.S. is falling apart, so somebody decides to resurrect Washington to restore it to its former glory. Interesting idea, not sure how it would be an accomplishment, and I don't know if it would actually work. The founding father, you cannot mean Emperor Zandi? None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Unai and Doga. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Zandi. It was commonly believed the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Aye, Zandi returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zandi turns his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness his power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Now it's getting Nero to smile. Darkness again? Seven hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zandi is very much alive. Within Syrcus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allegan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Zandi's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the seventh umbral calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xandi awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. So we'll have him take on the Garlemald Empire. When the two of them have either obliterated each other and worn each other out, we'll just sweep in and mop up the rest. 'Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Xandi's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unai and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fall. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xandi, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Caden Einvies, we are confident that we can end Xandi's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian, among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Caden? The world's in grave danger again, and just so happens you're an expert at saving it. You got it, dude. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It's been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think the Tower's secrets may become lost to us. The greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends of Doga, living, breathing Allegans. So I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Syrcus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Caden, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say this includes Emperor Xandi himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Syrcus Tower from the outside world. To work then! And I'm sure I'm not completely pronouncing the Emperor's name properly. Xande, but I'm gonna say it Xandi because that's just fun to say. There's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean? You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you call it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. There you go. Aha. Where shall you take us next? My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. Quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there's been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Syrcus Tower awaits us. All hail the wise and mighty Grahatia. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zandy himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. Wish I knew when my nose wouldn't stop itching. Syrcus Tower now accessible. Take that out. That in. Average wait time is 5 minutes. That's not bad, if accurate. Well, that's right. I can't fly here. I should be quicker to teleport. Need my little Fall Guys Rhino. Alrighty. Seventh Heaven, where the Scions of the Seventh Dawn hang out. Excuse my coughing. I think I found a bone in my water there. Okay, second coil of Bahamut. Yep, I need to... Let's see here. Level 50 quest. I think, I seek a certain adventurer for a cause most just. Are you not Caden? Ha, I thought you had the right aspect. 'Twas you who played the thief in the night at the stone vigil. The dragons guard their keep jealously, it said. Yet you slipped unseen into the cloudy fortress. 'Twill not be their keep for much longer, however. The forces of Ishgard amassed by the Sea of Clouds. Now, this is for your ears only. The blockade is but a prelude to an attack. Lord Trillamont commands the siege, and he would have your counsel. I am but one of many who seek you at his behest. You must be a woman of rare quality. The proud knights of Durandare are not accustomed to taking, let alone seeking, outside help. Ishgard's is the cradle air I breathed, and I yearn to see the stone vigil reclaimed from the Dravanian horde. Will you not go to White Brim Front and aid Lord Trillamont? I think that unlocks the hard mode for Stone Vigil. So this level 100 warrior wanted to trade me a mount horn, but thanks, but no thanks. I mean, I had no problem with that mount. I have other mounts, but just not a fan. Just walking up and randomly giving me a mount, especially one that's not that easily acquired. If I remember that one. So. See, everyone... Everyone right, go left. Everyone left, go right. This first set of stairs here, doesn't matter, you just go. Oh, there's a junior to the senior. See, Big Right doesn't want you to go left. So this is when it's going to get real easy to get left behind. Enough people have done this this whole run so many times. I like that. So just did a variation of the Konami code in the chat. It said go up. Then go up again, turn around, go down again. Then go left, then go right, repeat, and profit. So up, up, down, down, left, right, you know. Didn't throw the BA part in there, but it's fun to see people just throw in random comments and chats and things like that. And this here, Scylla. Enemy actually fight frequently in 3. When you're going through a certain section of the game. Oh, I've got an orb on me. So you get one of these purple orbs on you. Gotta take them to those stations. I honestly, as many times as I've done this, I don't know what happens if that doesn't get done. But I'm also not gonna risk an entire alliance wipe if I don't do it. And there are other orbs and things that will appear. Like this person over behind me just got frozen. If I had a red orb on me, I would go ahead and run over and thaw them out. Doing that. Somebody was going to. Go to hit the weight on the, go back to the beginning, and that happened just as they cast rays on me. So there was a fair amount going on there. If you get a red orb on you, run it over to somebody who's frozen. You get a purple orb on you, run it over to one of the beam pillar points around the edges of the arena. The whole time you're fighting. So Which we're going to do some more of right here real quick. So we just had those 2 clones that let us in here. Oh, we got Green Dragon first. We need some more clones. Let's go take out the dragon. Dragon! A dragon! A dragon! Yep, Dogo's clone. And actually, in Final Fantasy III, some of the enemies you fight are Unai and Dogo's clones. Delivery of Death Senior, okay. Again, another enemy from 3. Oh, one of the bigger pains in the butts to defeat in there. Of course, in 3 you've got a party of 4, not a party of 24. And it is turn-based, so it's a slightly trickier fight. You can't just step out of the way of attacks like that one. Those clockwork things you can ignore, just don't get right in front of you. Okay. Got 1,000 gil just for that fight right there. I'm in B. That chest is already open. Item level 100? Yeah, I'll go ahead and need on that. Greed on the sleeves. Wait for me! I got little legs! There's 3 big demon dudes here to take out. They're dropped, the dragon will come in. Now the positioning of the enemies in the Crystal Tower series here does not exactly match Final Fantasy III. The dragons are in a different area entirely, not in the tower. You know, you do encounter the dragons in the tower. But like the Unai and Doga clones, you actually can encounter them in the labyrinth. And the tower. It's not a direct copy of Final Fantasy III, but it does pulls a lot of the same elements and touches on the lore. this fight a little bit different. And this one, if you get one of the purple orbs on you, you actually want to take it to those big guys and shrink them down. Curtain call. Behind the ice block. Otherwise, that attack is very lethal. Okay. Read on that. Mode of casting. Passed on the catalyst. There we go. Map the tower. And there's Emperor Zandy himself. When drawing on the power of darkness. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. Go ahead and skip the cutscene because they're already getting into the fight. If you do a ready check and somebody doesn't respond, they're probably not ready. You might want to not start the fight. This one's going to have a whole lot going on too. Most of the stuff we're throwing at him. Up until he does that. And a DPS check. I take out all these Stonefall circles on the outside. Starfall circle in the middle. Otherwise, big things come and hurt everybody. Stack up. If you're not stacked up there on those platforms that lift you up, that way you should quite go. Arrgh. Down enough, another DPS check. Now you shall crush all who oppose me, yeah. Every big bad says that, and then they get crushed. Nope, don't want to be standing there. Nope. There, we got him. I was about to say we just about got him, and then he ran out of life. So, we got him. Life is a circus. there's his empty throne. For somebody who drew on the power of darkness, this is an awfully shiny, bright, well-lit area, you know? Syrcus Tower complete. Helm of Casting, yes. Read on that. I got the Onion Knight. And they... And I got a commendation out of that, too. Let's see what of this new gear I can actually, would actually be useful and not, worse than what I've got. That's kind of ominous. Caden. You did it. You defeated Emperor Xandi. Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you're the champion we had hoped for, Caden Ninevice. With Emperor Xandi now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. And Nero comes in all armored up. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Syrcus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world, or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. Seal that little rift there. Distortion. What is it? The power that Xandi sought to obtain comes from the void. The world of darkness, our people call it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on Aether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Xandi entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Unai and I believe we can annul it. By his blood, Xandi sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga. Finally, we may fulfill our purpose. And Nero's got his little Aether Geiger counter there. It's just going nuts. Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment, I feared this outing would end in disappointment. My readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? is everlasting. That hole just got a lot bigger. Uh-oh, an echo migraine. See, honestly, I don't remember these cutscenes at all. It's been so long since I was through. And so, Mericidia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allegan rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid. An endless void, bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. If all you ever have is nothing, you don't feel the loss of anything. I can see a logic there. Very improper, dark, and flawed logic, but I can see the connections. Caden, pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Not now, damn it. Go, Sid, go! No, Sid, no! Got a gunbreaker and a machinist here. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your James Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Doga! Gonna grab Unai as well. Confound it. Without them, there's no way to master the darkness. That power is mine! Gotta pull her away from the darkness, just get grabbed to go along with it. Nero! Covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. That's not good. The connection is lost. All her little bots just fall down, go boom. Damn it, the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult Rambrose. A little breeze moving the robes and skirts. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the Syrcus Tower. So we'll go back. We'll do a couple of MSQ. Make some progress that way. And then next episode, after we fight this guy, somebody be watching this door. People might want to come through it and not get jumped by giant ogres in long hair. Alrighty. So we're going to take a minute here and check out this gear that I just got. So, yeah, level 39 to level 80. That's a bit of an upgrade. So, I'm going to toss that in my armory chest. Level 90 to 100. Yep. Upgrade on the gloves. And again, level 90 to 100. Oh, place that in my armory chest. That's not what I wanted to do, but we got the Onion Knight minion, the Orchestrion roll, and a new triple triad card. Accept. No, I do not want to accept it. Decline it. Yes. Character. Recommended gear. That is the, yep. Okay. That looks like a big outfit on her. On me. I'm kind of more dark and ominous, really, than I want. And it doesn't match my hat. So I can't apply the glamour plate here. So I will have to wait till I can apply the glamour plate. Let's do this cutscene. All this happened within the tower? God's preserve. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate, of this I am certain. There exist myriad kinds of void scent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. 'Twould seem that Xandy sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void scent is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we cannot abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. The void scent can enter our world. Instances of men entering the void have never been documented. Pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Unai. We share the same eye, 'tis true. That is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them fulfill their mission. A mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zandy's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. 'Tis our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass.
Graha, ever since meeting Unai and Doga, you've not been quite yourself. Tell me true, is all well with your eye?
I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with the Alag. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it.
I am with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Unai and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it. Though we have known them but briefly, Doga and Unai are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray, rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Caden. Mark my words.
Okay. So we've run through Syrcus Tower. I could go ahead and do the next quest, but we're going to go back to Mordona and make progress on the MSQ. And when we get closer to the Aetherite up here, that should unlock the ability to use glamour plates. So, I mean, as comfy and cozy as this outfit looks for the weather, I don't need 6 extra hands around my waist. So, let's go back to the glamour plate that I had on. That one. There we go. Much more comfortable, much more breathing and airy. Easier to move around. I mean, more hands would mean more spells, but they're limp noodle arms. They're not a whole lot of function to them. Plus, they are more paws than hands. And, you know, it's just not nice to go pawing around somebody else's waist, you know? Without permission, or, you know. Alrighty. Nymphilia. Ah, okay. Truly, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifests were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. Primal summoning. The brass blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they have as yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been merely been of merely monetary value. If there's even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest but in service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Y'shtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Of course, that thought of more hands equaling more spells has me pondering something. I know there's a whole array of TTRPG formats and styles and rule sets out there. But as, like it or not, D&D is kind of the... I won't say the original source, but sort of the inspiration for all those others. Okay, there's a mechanic in D&D that some spells require use of hands. And... Oh, sorry, we gotta teleport to Horizon. With that use of hands, would having more hands allow you to do more spells at the same time? So could you really, if you had multiple hands, and a lot of spells do require like a concentration element, but there's some, like I've seen a thing for delayed fireball. You can build it up and delay it. You can relay it to other, co-casters to just make it, this massive amount of damage. Could you count your other hands as co-casters for the spell? You start the casting here, hand it off to another set of hands, while you cast another spell, and they're just holding it for a little bit longer, and then they pass it off to another set of hands. Could you actually do that? I know largely that would depend on the DM and how much of the rule of cool they would want to institute. But it's an interesting thought. If you had, let's just say 6 hands, could you delay that? Or, again, depending on your DM, magic missile. You would fire, 3? So if you had 6 hands, could you fire up, 3 from each pair of hands? So you've got 3 pairs of hands, so 9. 9 magic missiles. So that might be a little OP. But I can see as you level up and are able to cast higher level spells and cast magic missile at higher levels, the DM allowing you to cast them from different sets of hands. That would be that could be interesting. But it would also, because again, if your hands are tied or bound, if a spell requires, hand movement, could you use your other hands for it if they're still free? I could see a DM, getting a little bit more flexible and getting more limiting with the extra hands in there. Would be an interesting thought experiment to explore. Caden, your assistance is most welcome. I've already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pain to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fufulupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. So let's come over here and talk to Fufulupa. The little Fufu. Oh, hello there, Caden, was it? Y'shtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allegan Sunway. The cart bolted off toward eastern Thanolin, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Thanolin. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report at any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could...
Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or, on second thought, perhaps it's good news after all.
Thancred, wherever have you been off to?
I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And wouldn't you believe it, I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found.
As that so, alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere.
We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Keaton.
The somnus, if I remember right, is like a sleeping herb, sleeping powder kind of thing. Right there.
Against all expectation, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motive were profit, why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Oriange of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then.
Oh, actually, voice acted.
'Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
One thing I do like about the storytelling in this game is they don't repeat things.
Indeed. I shall remain watchful.
Even if, like, something that he just explained to us would then be explained to somebody else a moment later, it cuts it like that.
Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
He doesn't care if she's cute or not. So ask somebody who would. A ninja.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
Oh wait. Fending, slaying, and aiming? Yeah. I want any of those. Casting, that's what I want. That's an earring. I've got an earring that'll last me until 90, so... Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Fofulupa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we
may yet find something of use nestled away within it.
Oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Fufalupa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there is someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst?
It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Fufalupa.
Indeed, if for some reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed.
Ah, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation?
Mayhap not, but neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone Makote miner traveling without escort, so as not to attract undue attention. But I see. Yes, the concern may well elect to do that, but to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley?
A fine spot for a rest, would you not agree, Caden? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south.
Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Spread the word about this lowly, unguarded Makote transporting things.
Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement.
We're setting a trap.
It's a tarp!
Alrighty, so here's my spot. Carbuncle is summoned. Standing watch. Unknown Ravagers. Wait a minute. Go forth the freight. Roast him. Okay, actually, before I go speak with Y'shtola, just thought of something I wanted to do. Where is there? Wind up Onion Knight. New minion we just got. Look at the little cutie. Y'shtola looks a little bit different. Stubbornness to the last as expected. You are unharmed.
Gang of Seawolf thieves, and in Thanolin no less. Suppose there's a first time for everything.
Sea wolves, all of them.
Aye, and with all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering.
Our thieves are a long way from home. Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make.
To Horizon, then. Fufulupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves.
Interesting outfit for Y'shtola there. Kind of like the fact that her miner's helmet has space for her ears. On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks.
Is that so? Then by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private.
No, I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him, and made good his escape.
Oh, for the love of... How did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling that somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise?
No, but he was quite strong. A sea wolf, Leminson born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that.
I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. Yes, she's standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little
Oh. Sorry, my throat went just bone dry there for a second.
You might try to look a little disappointed. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you?
Yep. Alrighty, I think I'm going to go ahead, actually, and call this episode about there. We'll go see what the, speaking with Thadcrid here. So speaking with Thadcrid here, we'll start the next section of the MSQ. So next episode, we'll look at World of Darkness and see what mission it is the Scions have in store for us next. Be sure to give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, ring ding ring, clang that bell so you get notifications when these videos go up and other things appear on the channel. If you like the video, share it with your friends. If you didn't like the video, share it with your enemies. I do record these live at twitch.tv/elecnor, so come on out, hang out sometime, give me fashion advice, we can discuss other fights, and see what I get up to between episodes. Thanks for watching. Bye now.